Before we get into bet it up, man, I just gotta say two things. Um, did you see that Will Johnson interception for Michigan? Because that was like the best pick six I've seen in some time. And what team do you think Will Johnson could get drafted to? That you would whether you would prefer he get, I mean, in all reality, where you would prefer him to get drafted or where you expect he would get drafted, I guess.
I didn't see it. I was working. I be usually working during the Michigan game when the Michigan game is on. Um, I don't know, man. The league is so the league is so funny this year that it's like I don't know. Well, I think I know who's going to be at the bottom, but I don't know who's going to be at the bottom. Um, I don't know. I could probably see like
I guess
where would I want to go?
yeah, that go ahead with that. Where do you think his play style would look just perfect? Where he would fit perfectly at?
Mm, right now, I'll probably say the Jets.
Mm. Oh, oh my goodness. Will Johnson on one side, Sauce on the other side. Yeah, that would be nasty. I would definitely recommend after
Yeah,
this looking at it, checking it out. It was beautiful. It was a good game, man. I know I told you I had Michigan losing, but it was a really entertaining game. Um, but Will Johnson, though, that
I
pick was
saw that.
just it
I
was
saw.
it was so beautiful.
I only got a chance to really see the. I didn't. They didn't show that many highlights. When I did get home, I wanted to see the highlights of the game. They didn't really show that many highlights. But from what I put together from the stats and the box scores, Orgy did nothing. You know what I'm saying? He was basically another running back out there. And Michigan said we're just gonna get a ball to Mullins and we're just gonna run this thing down their throat and defense held serve. Cause I was expecting to see more. I think Orgy had like 5 passes for like 30 yards or something like that. Like that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like Michigan has just completely abandoned the passing game. Like if we got I mean, I know he's a freshman, but if we got an All American freshman on the bench and your first two string quarterbacks are booty, why not put them in?
You don't have any wide receivers on Michigan. Everybody's gone to the league. Nobody has stepped up. No receivers have really stepped up. Their best receiving option is their tight end, who's also going to go to the league. He's a great tight end, but he was hurt, so he didn't play. Your running game is obviously your biggest strength, and you put Orgy in there to just basically to implement the option. Um, and they and honestly, the get like like the offense went out there and they played a first half. They played off the crowd. They built a lead. That pick six was huge because even with that pick six, USC took the lead in like the last 4 minutes of the game. And then, like you said, Mullins was able to drive the ball downfield and cap off the game with a touchdown. But it was a real entertaining game, and it was a blueprint Michigan game. But all that being said, man, uh, the conversation going into this season was, all these Pac-12 teams coming to the Big Ten, and I really didn't pay attention to that conversation, but looking at it in reality, I see what they was talking about, and obviously because I had money on USC, I was trying to, I was looking at it from a USC perspective, and USC was just making me so mad. Like they would not run the ball, but Pac-12 air it out, and
Right.
you come into the big house, Michigan. And don't get me wrong, Michigan has one of the best D lines in football, but at the same time, you still got to make them respect the run, and they never made them respect the run. And even when they did run it a couple times, they would get yards, but they just went away from it. They just aired it out, and a lot of hype around the USC quarterback, and he made a couple of good throws, a couple of top notch throws, but I'm like, man, this is the guy that everybody hyping up, so it was a real good game. Congratulations to all the Michigan fans and all of that. But that's all. I just wanted to talk about Will Johnson. Look at that highlight, man. It was a beautiful. He baited my man. It was straight out of Madden. It was just straight out of Madden. It looked like somebody's playing Madden.
That being said, does Michigan beating USC change your outlook on their season? Do you think they'll? Because I think I had them losing about 4 or 5 games. You know what I'm saying? Does it make you feel any better about how they'll do this season?
At the beginning of the year, I had them losing about 4 or 5 games too, and then after they lost to Texas, I was like, wow, they might lose 6, 7 games, 6, 7, 8 games. But after beating USC, no, I'm back at 3, 4 games.
Okay. What about real quick? It ain't got to be a whole segment, but Michigan State was 3-0, and I mean, yeah, they were 3-0, and they were going up against Boston College, Bowling Green, Boston
Boston.
College, I think. Yeah, they were going against Boston College. Boston College turns out to be a good team. I think they've only lost 1 game, but people were saying, "Oh, now since Michigan State is 3-0, they might even be able to beat Michigan now." Or some of the crazy fans like even Ohio State. We know that's not going to happen, but with this loss, does that change your outlook, or what do you feel like Michigan State will do?
I don't know where the game is. I would really like to know where the game is, but same thing. Nothing's changed. Miller Moss for USC didn't necessarily impress me because Aiden Childs. Now I will say though, before this game, I was looking at Michigan State. I would favor Michigan State in that game, but after this game, the way that Michigan's defense reintroduced themselves, and the Michigan State lost that game on an Aiden Childs turnover is what I hear. I didn't get to see any of it, but I heard he threw a terrible interception with the game up in the air. And while he can be dynamic and he can make great passes and he can move out the pocket, he can scramble out the pocket, make stuff happen with his feet. He is young. I believe he's a true freshman quarterback. So with that being said, it's going to be him against Michigan's defense, and right now I got to give the nod to Michigan's defense.
All right, before we move on to bet it up, man. One more thing. I didn't see the Michigan State game either, but that was because I was watching the Colorado game. Shout out to Colorado, man. That might have been the most electric game on TV this weekend. I don't know if you saw it or not, but last minute pullout from Colorado. Did you see it?
I did not. I saw the Hail Mary. That was it.
So, it started off an okay game. And then right towards the second half of the game, it didn't look like Colorado State had a chance of hell of beating Baylor. I mean, Baylor was controlling the game. Colorado was out there flouncing the ball around. Shador just running around. throwing passes that every receiver on the field dropped, and it was like, man, this game is over. And then all of a sudden, they decided, no, we gonna try to make this work. But even to the last minute, they were still weren't making any plays that could save them. It was like a desperation thing type deal. Like Shador threw a ball down the field with like 5 seconds left on the clock, or like 7 seconds left on the clock, right to the 2 yard line. My man hit my man in the chest, and he dropped it. All he had to do was catch it and fall into the end zone. That would have been overtime, but he dropped it. So 2 seconds left. So there's no chance in hell they're getting it now because that was the opportunity. He throws it upfield again, right in the end zone. My man catches it, and we go into overtime, and they go down the field and score, and Baylor does it. And I mean, when I say that was the most exciting game, man, I was sitting there with my jaw open, like, damn, that was one hell of a game. I mean, shoot, that might have been more exciting than any NFL game I saw this week.
Yeah, no, man. Shadur Sanders is that deal. But honestly, man, shout out to Colorado, 3-1. Uh, every week they get counted out. I've started to count them out, but they're 3-1. Like you said, a spectacular win Saturday. The thing that and I'm rooting for Dion, but as you're saying all of this, I'm wondering, man, that team is Shador Sanders, like like Shador Sanders is a 99 overall on a team among 80 and below players. So I mean, what happens to Colorado when Shador and Travis Hunter leave? Like, I'm not seeing this. I'm not seeing the depth. So I don't know. Once they leave, I think Dion might stick around for another year, and I don't know. I can see Dion moving on once Shador moves on.
Yeah, no. The speculation that I've heard around town is that Dion is only hanging around for Shador, and you know, once they leave, he's from Florida State. They feel like